It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara. He's coming off a nice showing last week, racked up a lot of yards, and reached the end zone once. It's the Dolphins and the Broncos, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. And here are the key inactives for them in this one. And obviously, Charles, are going to be without some important names this week.
Well, hopefully those guys will be on the sidelines, encouraging the guys who are going out there and helping them when they come off the sidelines during the game by giving them some tips on what they see and what they've experienced. That's true teamwork. And if you want to get to the playoffs, if you want to have a big push, you have to have that on your squad.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Check in on the numbers last week for Robinson. 16 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
Second down and 6 now. They go play action now. Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. You talk about this Miami defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple of touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team around. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading them out, he played 5 years at the University of Houston, threw for over 100 touchdowns. The rookie Clayton Tune.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Toon. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. They run it again with Kamara. Shrugs the tackle. Nice. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day,
touchdown Dolphins! Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 75. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Jamar Chase, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You talk about this Miami defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. 42 yards rushing for him down to this point. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Dolphins at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Tune. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
Great catch and first down by Kelsey, who somehow continues to improve 10 seasons and 7 All-Pro nods in. At this point, we've moved past just calling him a future Hall of Famer. Now we need to just start saying he's one of the greatest to ever play the position.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Tune. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
Dicker down, attack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They begin the drive with Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard, can slide up to the second.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
From the 43, here's a second down and 6.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Now hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. On second down, Kamara.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Throwing, Tune.
Touchdown!
Takedown.
30 yards!
And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. The partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And it is now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now Wilson.
And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Second down and 4.
Now Wilson. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Again, Wilson.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. The Colts locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington Commanders at home at FedEx Field. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Brock Purdy has thrown a touchdown pass. Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call of the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
They start the second half with Kamara.
They'll get this to the 24, and it's second down.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
From the 24 now, here's second down and 8. Here's Tune to throw it.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Tune gonna throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10.
So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At the 39-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Robinson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Brings up second and 12 at the 37-yard line.
Again, it's Robinson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go with them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
109 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw, Tune.
Escaping the pressure right. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Pushing through the contact. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
So this has been a pretty strong start to the year for him on the ground, CD. It's just week 3. That's already 5 rushing touchdowns.
And you know he's got big grins on their faces besides the rest of the team. The strength and conditioning program, because he was awfully dedicated to what they put in front of him to get ready for this year. Got himself into terrific shape, and he's dominated here early on.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They'll go for a gain of 7. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
24-yard gain on the play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has. Back now in Miami. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all, because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
2nd and 5.
We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. Still going. Alvin Kamara. He's to the 10.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Alvin Kamara
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Dicker down, attack on the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So the Broncos coming out now.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, Both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Wilson's throw into the hands of Reynolds here. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. A solid stiff arm. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd down and 8. A give. This is Kamara. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Ready.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
How about this? Racing to the end zone. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Miami set to take over. And now they are in prime position, 1st and goal after the interception and return. They'll look to make it pay off for 6 points.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Kamara.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Sometimes offensive can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker, and it is 42-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Dolphins are going to have it here just past the 25.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
2nd down and a yard.
They run it again with Kamara, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, but that's all they needed to move the sticks. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Kamara up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go.